The following technical support video will show you how you can control how long a postscript file will stay inside your RIP, and also will provide you a technical support tip that will help you in case your computer begins to operate very slowly, or at a worst case scenario, your RIP begins to crash. We'll start off with the graphic that's on our screen, which comes from Great Dane Graphics. This graphic was already printed to the printer, and I'll bring up the RIP interface and show you that in the Pages of Printers tab there's nothing here. What happens is when the RIP processes a job, it'll go and bring up our status message, drop the file into the Incoming Jobs tab where it'll begin the ripping process. Once it goes through the RIP, it'll then be split into two different tabs. One being the Process Jobs tab, where it'll store in the RIP based on the settings that you have. And the second one is the Pages of Printers tab, which just means any files sitting in here are waiting to be sent directly to the printer. And all you have to do is either turn on your printer or hit the print button on the printer. On the Process Jobs tab, this is where a file can reside after it's already been sent to the printer. If you double click on the file name, you'll be able to preview it, and you'll notice that it's the same exact file that we had on our screen earlier. This will allow you to reprocess a job if you need to print it at a later time. Where the settings reside for how long a postscript file will stay in your RIP is up at the top underneath Configure, and then Configure MultiRIP Settings. Here you'll see where you can set it for the number of days, hours, and minutes that a job is saved. Now I will provide you a warning. The RIP files tend to be very large files. If you're saving them for multiple days and you're running several files a day, that can add up to a lot of space, which will either slow down your computer or even worst case scenario could possibly cause your RIP to fail. In this case, I just have mine set for 1 hour. If you need to save a RIP file for longer than that, I recommend you view the export-import video or also known as the print archive job video for MultiRIP. This will allow you to save files for indefinitely and not have it into the open space on your computer. So what I'm going to do is now show you where you can go on your computer to see where these files are saved. If you go to your C drive, or also local hard disk drive, depending on what it's called, you're going to see several different folders that have been installed when you install the MultiRIP product. And one of them is referred to as PowerRIP hot folders. What I want you to do is double click into that folder and you'll see the list of all of these other folders in here. We sent that file to the Anajet. And if you look in there, you'll see that there is a file in there. And what I want you to focus on is that the file's format is a .p as in Paul underscore. A postscript file is always a .p as in Paul, S as in Sam, or .ps file. If you have a lot of files in here, you can go ahead and just simply delete the file by clicking on it, right-clicking and going down to delete. There is also another trick. If you click on the file, right-click on it, and go to rename, and you have the ability to get rid of the underscore and make it an S. What this is going to do is it's going to turn it back into a postscript file. If I go ahead and hit enter, it'll ask me if I want to change the file, and I'll say yes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the RIP window, and in a couple seconds you're going to see that file begin to process through the RIP. Once it begins the RIP process, we will go back into the Anajet folder, and you'll notice that this file has now gone back to a .p underscore. This will allow it to be saved in there for another hour based on the settings that I had. If you find that there are a lot of files up here, that for whatever reason your computer might be blocking the RIP software's capability of deleting them, you might want to periodically go through, check this, and delete it. That's really the basic information for how to control how long a postscript file stays within the MultiRIP product. If you need more information, please go to www.multiripusers.com. Thank you.